Hi, this is Tanya. Welcome back to my channel. So I wanted to do a product fail video today because I had two products that I wasn't happy with, and I wanted to share that with you, and also to recommend some safety tips while applying your makeup. So the first fail was the City Mini palette. I bought the City Mini palette 3 months ago, and I had my eye on it for a while, and I thought, I'm going to get it, I'm going to try it out, see how it goes. I love the colors in it. The price point was pretty good, but then and I used it several times already. But then recently I had a problem with it. So let me tell you the 4 things that I don't like about this palette. One of them is I lost a color. There was a nice burgundy color here, and what happened, I don't know what happened. It got it wasn't cracked. It just started changing form somehow in the pan. I don't know. It looked like there was a circle forming, and I was like, oh, it's not cracked. Okay, fine. Put it away, pulled it out the next day, and it was all broken. So I went, okay, great. Dumped it out. I was like, okay, that color's gone. Darn it. And then I started noticing, I mean, there was fallout. I noticed that right away when I got the palette. Most makeup palettes on the cheaper end, I can't say that. Scratch that. Some palettes have more fallout than other palettes. That's more accurate to say, because I can't say that expensive palettes don't have any fallout, because that, powder's powder, it's gonna do something. But what I don't like about the fallout on this palette, look at, it's a very fine dust. Ugh. And it has a fragrance to it. Not a terrible fragrance, but it has a fragrance to it. So when you inhale it, you get a fragrance taste in your mouth, in your nose. That I don't like. That's a no-go for me. So it is milled very finely, and you can feel the milling. And so when I bought the palette and I dipped my finger in, I went, oh wow, that's milled really fine, like some of the really high-end palettes. I thought, wow, this is great. But the perfume thing, I don't like it. It irritates my nose. So I wanted to let you know about that. I also wanted to let you know that this beautiful teal color and the burgundy color that already broke will stain your skin. Not permanently, but they're a little bit harder to get off. And the other thing I didn't like about it was that when I put it on, one day I didn't use any other colors with it. I just used this palette on my eyes. It creased, and the colors migrate. So they move, they go into your crease, and even though I already had primer on my eyes, they did not stay on very well. They didn't stay on as well as the Wet n Wild. They didn't stay on as well as the NYX. They didn't stay on as well as the Essence. So as well as any other eyeshadow palette I have. They didn't stay on as good. And I wasn't really happy with the shimmer color either, which is a gold kind of bronzy color. And I thought, ooh, that's pretty. And I was trying to like place it on my eye, but it wasn't really, I don't know if I can do it for you now. It wasn't really laying down the way I wanted it to. It wasn't exciting me at all. I was like, this is not working here. So all those things said, this is a fail for me. I wouldn't recommend it. But I like the colors, I like the price point, and I like the size of the palette, and I was really excited about it, but it just is not working for me. And it got me thinking about inhaling powders, actually, which got me like doing some research on the internet. So I did some research for us, and I discovered a few things about talc and mica. These are two minerals that are contained in all of our makeup, except for some companies do talc-free makeup, but they still have mica. So let me tell you what mica and talc are and what happens to them in the process when they mine them, and then that will explain more to you. So talc has gotten more of a bad rap than mica, because talc, although they're both minerals, natural minerals found in rocks and such, talc often forms on rocks right next to asbestos. So you have talc and asbestos that form together on the rock next to each other. So when they mine it and they try to remove the talc, inevitably they also take asbestos with it. So the separation of the talc and the asbestos is not really that great. So in essence, talc could have residuals of asbestos in it, which we know what asbestos is, and it's not good to breathe, right? So that being said, that's the talc. Okay, so there are companies, makeup companies, thank God, who don't use talc in their products. I will list them down in the description box below for those of you who are conscious about this kind of stuff and pay attention. And, you know, I mean, we all pay attention to it, but I'm not going to throw out my makeup. Like, I'm not going to get rid of my CoverGirl or my Wet n Wild. I'm not doing it, you know. It was funny because with the Wet n Wild palettes, the purple one is talc free, and my favorite one, Sweet as Candy, is not talc free. So, but they both have mica in it. All right, so that's the talc. Now mica is also a mineral, and mica has small metals in it, and they use it in cables and stuff because it conducts electricity, because it has micro amounts of metal in it. And that's why they use it in our cosmetics, because it gives you that luminosity. That's what you're seeing. That's the mica. So I have not seen an eyeshadow or a powder that does not contain mica. I don't think it's possible to even make one. I am not sure. Even Pacifica has mica in here. They have it as the fourth ingredient, but it's still in here. So It Cosmetics also has talc free. So talc is the really one that you want to pay attention to because of the asbestos factor. But it's not good to inhale any powder from any makeup, mineral or otherwise. And so in that case, let me show you a few tips and pointers on how to control that. So as you know, I'm a powder girl. I love powder foundation. The Ulta Mineral Powder Foundation as well as Bare Minerals. Love them both. They do not contain talc, either of them. Thank goodness. But just because a mineral is a mineral and it's, quote, natural, doesn't mean you're not going to have a reaction to it or can't have a reaction to it. Let's put it that way. I mean, my sister doesn't do well with the Bare Minerals powder, so, you know, you can have a reaction to natural things. So just because it's natural doesn't mean it's good for everybody, right? So anyway, that being said, so when you put if you use this type, now if you're a liquid foundation girl, you don't have to worry about any of this. Although with your setting powder, you might. And in that case, I would go with the Pacifica. They have two colors. Also, the Ulta Beauty has a setting powder. They have a translucent and they have two other colors that are also talc free. Who else? Oh, Physicians Formula has a talc free. And so Pacifica, Ulta, and Physicians Formula, not all Physicians Formula stuff is talc free. You have to look. But those are the cheaper brands. Then as you go higher, you go to It Cosmetics has talc-free stuff. Pure has talc-free stuff. And Beauty Juice or Juice Beauty, they have talc-free stuff. So anyway, so when you put your stuff in, this is what they said on the internet regarding the mica. So you get you got stuff in there. I'm just doing this as a demo. They said make sure you have a good brush. So the brush will pick this up. So watch it pick it up. You want a brush that picks it up and not disperses it everywhere. So see, it picked it up out of there. So it's on the brush now. That's the kind of brush you want. A brush that will pick up the product. So when you place it on your face and you buff it in, it's good and into the brush. Now, after you do this, after you pick up the product, you want to hold it far away from you, arm's length as far as it go. Give it a good tap, get the excess off, and then apply. And that will keep your dust off down and keep you safe. You will be going around your nose and stuff like that. So that's how you do it to keep yourself from breathing in any of the mica, okay? So that's a little tip from that. And same with your eyeshadow. You go into an eyeshadow pan, you know, even this Maybelline one here, will demo this out, you know. Just do this away from you and give it a good tap. Make sure your brush is picking up that stuff before, and then go ahead and apply it. Anyway, so that's tips to kind of keep you safe from that. All right, so we'll move on. And so the next product that was a fail was the eyeshadow primer by Wet n Wild. Oop, I have that upside down. And I didn't like this because it did something weird on my eyes. Now, I could try it again. Not quite sure what went wrong that day. I just had lotion on my face. And then I put some of this on, and it looks like cover up. See that? It looks like cover up, but then when it goes on the skin, it dries down. So like that. But I put it on, and I was doing a video. I was trying it out. And all of a sudden it started like, not separating, but it like deposited a white line here, right on the edge of my eye. And I thought, what is that? Did I put too much on? Maybe it could have been that I put too much on, but I couldn't wipe the line off. It's kind of like a glass of water, you know, if you have water that has a lot of calcium in it and it starts to put rings inside your glasses, you know, it was kind of like that. It left like an outer ring, and I couldn't get it off. So I stopped the video. I ran into the bathroom real quick. I'm like trying to wipe it with a piece of, with some Kleenex, and I'm like this, and it wasn't coming off. And then I started like, I'm like, not panicking, but I'm like, oh my gosh, is it going to come off? So then I used my makeup remover and I took it off, and it finally came off, but I really had to press. And I thought, you know what? I'm not really grooving on a product that adheres to your skin like glue and doesn't come off easily. Not liking that too much. So for me, it's a no-go. I won't be purchasing that product again. Maybe I'll take it back to Walgreens or something. So anyway, so I wanted to go over the talc and the mica thing because I think it's important for us to know these things. You know, we love our beauty and we love our cosmetics. I'm certainly not going to stop using my stuff, but I am going to be more mindful about inhaling the powders. And so I just wanted to share that with you. And so I'll put everything down in the description box below of all the companies that have talc-free powders and products. So that is helpful for you. Oh, and then I had another quick little tip. You know, my mineral oil added to mostly water combo to take off your eye makeup, which is so great. You put like a little cap full of this and one of these little 4-ounce things and put water in and shake it and use it for your makeup. Well, what I did, one day I was cleaning out one of my palettes, like for instance this palette, now that you see that it has a lot of dust and stuff on the inside of the little window. And I thought, I use my little cotton round because they won't scratch. And I wiped the inside of the palette around the edges and stuff like that. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is a great way to clean the little window on your palette. And for those of you, yeah, I have cheap cosmetics. I've got, you know, the Wet n Wild stuff. You know, they're cheap products, but I like to keep them clean nonetheless. And if you have a really expensive $40, $55, $50 palette, you know, you want to clean it. So that mineral oil and water really cleans the little windows in your thing, and it also helps to remove the stickers that are on the outside. See how nice that looks? And it just kind of cleans it all up. Oh, look at the fallout, man. Barely touch this thing. That's all over the place. But it keeps them nice and clean, so it makes your palettes look like brand new again, which is kind of nice. So just a little tip for the day. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. As always, click subscribe and post your comments in the comment section, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.